wasn't supposed to open the door. But when you hear a voice that sounds exactly like your dead brother begging to be let in, what would you do?
Please, it's so cold out here. Just let me in.
The voice was perfect. The way he dragged out the words, the little crack in his tone when he said, cold. Just like my brother used to do. But my brother died 6 months ago.
Come on, man. It's me. You know it's me.
My hand hovered over the lock. The knocking grew louder.
Why won't you open the door?
Then I heard the second voice from inside the house.
Don't do it. That's not me.
My blood turned to ice. Because that voice was also my brother's.
Liar, let me in.
He's lying. I'm the real one.
The knocking became pounding. The doorknob rattled.
You left me out here to die, now you're gonna do it again?
He's not me. I'm right here.
The lights flickered. The air smelled like rotting meat.
Open the door.
Don't.
I backed away. The pounding turned into something worse.
Fine, I'll let myself in.
The lock clicked. The door creaked open.
Run.
I turned, just in time to see Maeltu's face melt into something inhuman.
Too late.
The last thing I heard was the sound of the door slamming shut behind me.
You should have listened.
His voice didn't sound like my brother anymore. It was deeper. Wrong!
From outside, whispering now, let me in.
The handle jiggled again. But this time, it wasn't just one hand turning it. It sounded like dozens of fingers, scratching, sliding, desperate to get in.
They're all waiting for you.
The walls started bleeding. Not blood. Something thicker, black. It dripped down in slow, sticky strands.
From outside, voice breaking. Why won't you help me?
Because you already did.
The floorboards groaned. Something was moving under them. Something big.
Now, inside the house, right behind me. Look at me.
I didn't turn around. I couldn't.
Too late.
The lights went out. The thing under the floorboards started pushing up.
We're all here now.
The last thing I felt was the floor giving way, and hands, so many hands, pulling me down.
Welcome home.
The voice came from everywhere at once. A woman's voice, sweet like poisoned honey. A single match flared to life in front of me, revealing a face I knew.
Miss me?
It was my mother. She'd been dead for 10 years.
From somewhere in the dark. You should be here.
Oh, but he should. We've been waiting.
The matchlight grew, revealing the room. Walls made of skin. A ceiling that pulsed like a heartbeat. And sitting at a dinner table, every person I'd ever loved who died, all staring at me with black, empty eyes.
Sit down, dinner's getting cold.
The table was set. The main dish, still moving.
You always were a picky eater, but you'll eat this time.
The thing on the plate had my face. It screamed with my voice.
Eat, or we'll eat you instead.
The walls started closing in. The ceiling dripped, and the thing on my plate, it reached for me with my own hands.
Good boy.
The thing on the plate stopped screaming. It just smiled.
We knew you'd understand.
The first bite tasted like memories. Birthdays. Summer nights. My mother's laugh.
Good.
The second bite tasted like hospital rooms, car crashes, funeral flowers.
Almost there.
The last bite was the truth.
Now you're one of us.
The match went out. But I didn't need light anymore. I could see just fine in the dark.
Someone's at the door.
I stood up, walked to the door, listened to the familiar voice begging outside.
Everybody, from behind me, there's a higher power.
I turned the knob. The door creaked open. Moonlight spilled in, illuminating the terrified face of me, standing outside. And as I reached for him, I finally understood why they'd all been smiling. I wasn't supposed to open the door, but when the knocking started at exactly 3:07 IN, I did. And now I regret it.
Who the hell knocks at this hour?
The figure outside wasn't human. It wore my face.
Hills, you're me?
No, you're me.
The thing smiled. A smile too wide, too many teeth.
Let us in.
I hadn't seen her before. She stood behind the thing wearing my face. Her eyes were black, empty.
Who are you?
You invited us.
The air turned cold. The door creaked wider on its own.
I didn't invite anyone.
Yes, you did. When you whispered her name in the dark.
My blood froze. I had whispered a name last night. My dead sister's.
How do you know that?
Mother, because she's here.
A hand gripped my shoulder from behind. A hand I knew. A hand that had been buried 6 feet under.
Did you miss me?
The voice was hers. But it couldn't be. She died 10 years ago.
This isn't real.
Oh, it's real, and we're not leaving.
The door slammed shut behind them. The lights went out, and in the darkness I heard it. The sound of something breathing. Right beside my ear.
What do you want?
Yeah.
And then the screaming started. But it wasn't mine. It was coming from inside me.
Make it stop.
It only stops when you're one of us.
The thing wearing my face leaned in. Its breath smelled like rotting meat.
No.
Too late.
And then I felt my skin start to peel.
What's happening to me?
You're becoming real.
The pain was unbearable. But worse was the sound. The wet, tearing noise of my own flesh splitting open.
Stop it, please.
You asked for this. You called her.
My sister's corpse stood beside me, her hollow eyes locked onto mine.
You missed me, didn't you?
You're not her. She's dead.
That doesn't mean gone.
The thing wearing my face reached out and pressed a finger against my chest. My ribs cracked like dry twigs.
Now,
Shh. It's easier if you don't fight.
I felt something move inside me. Something alive. Something wrong.
Get it out.
Too late. It's always been there.
The lights flickered. Shadows twisted into shapes, long, spindly fingers reaching from the walls.
what are they?
The others.
A whisper filled the room. 100 voices, all saying the same thing. My vision blurred. The pain vanished. And for the first time, I understood.
Ever now?
Yes.
The thing wearing my face smiled, and this time I smiled back.
What am I?
What you always were.
The shadows surged forward, wrapping around my limbs like living ropes. I could feel them inside me now, wriggling beneath my skin.
No.
Every day, yes, yes, yes.
My sister's corpse placed her rotting hand on my cheek. Where she touched, my flesh turned gray and cold.
Why are you doing this?
You were lonely. We heard you crying at night.
The thing wearing my face tilted its head. Its eyes were completely black now, just like mine were becoming.
I didn't mean to call you.
But you did, and now you're home.
The last of my skin sloughed off in thick sheets. I expected pain. Instead, I felt free.
God.
No, not God. Something older.
The walls began to bleed. The ceiling dripped thick, black liquid. And from the darkness behind my sister, hundreds of eyes opened.
There's so many.
Family reunion.
They reached for me with too many arms. I reached back.
Better.
I opened my new eyes, countless eyes, and saw the truth. The endless dark, the waiting mouths, the others who had whispered names in the night.
Yes.
And then we turned, together, toward the next house, the next door, the next lonely voice calling out in the dark.
Knock knock.
From inside, a familiar sob, a name spoken too softly, a hand reaching for the doorknob.
Listen.